Hey y'all, this is Missy with Southern Theory Designs, and I am here today to show you how to do water slides. Sorry, this is going to be an old water slide that I'm not using today. So I know a lot of you saw my cup that I'm making for my friend Courtney. It's actually all water slides. I didn't use any vinyl or anything on it, so it's coming out really good tomorrow. I cannot wait to put the final coat of epoxy on it. But let's talk about water slides and how I got to where I got on that cup. So when you buy water slides, you can buy two different kinds. You can buy the clear water slide, is what the ones I prefer. Some people prefer the white ones. I prefer the clear ones. They come like a piece of paper. I've used a little bit off of this one, so it's not a full sheet. On one side, it's going to be kind of like a sheen. The other side, it's going to be a little bit more matte. This one has numbers on it, so I know this is not the side I want to print on. I want to print on the shinier side. You can either do a design in Design Space, or like me, I use my Mac. There's a program called Pages. It's kind of like Word document on a PC. I just drop and drag whatever I want to print on in there. If I want to do a name or something like that, I can ombre the name. I don't have to worry about finding the right vinyl if I'm out of a certain vinyl or something like that. I just find water slides are so much easier to use, and this is what I use. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, you're going to print it on here. Once you get everything that you want, you're going to print it on here. You're going to give it about 10 to 15 minutes for your ink to dry. You don't want it to smudge, to smear, or anything like that, so give it time. Let it dry. Once it dries, you're going to want to coat it with 2x Ultra Cover Gloss Clear. This is the only paint that I use. Even when I'm painting my cups, I use 2X. It is the best. And I don't usually use gloss, only use gloss when I'm doing water slides. Every other time I'm using a flat or a matte. Just works best for me, less runs and everything like that. So you printed it out, you've waited 15 to 20, 30 minutes for it to dry. You're gonna hit it from 12 inches away with a thin coat of your clear gloss. You're gonna let that dry 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're gonna come back 12 inches away and you're gonna hit it again with this. You want 2 thin layers of this. What I do is I put it in a tall box, like a shipping box or whatever, and I spray it in there. This way I don't have any overspray. Spray it outside. You don't want to smell the fumes. It's not good for you. My friend Jessica from Turning Twilight Tumblers, she taught me to use the Plasti-Dip Glossifier on top of my 2 clear glosses. It helps, it has a UV protectant in it, so it doesn't fade, it doesn't yellow, but it also makes it a lot stronger and easier to manipulate when you want to go ahead and put it on your cup. So now you have it printed. You have put 2 coats of clear gloss on it, and you can, if you want, put the Plasti-Dip on it. I do. You don't have to do it. It's not mandatory. Let's see. I do have some here that I have used. These are just like leftover ones that I've used. So what we're going to do is, let's do, you know what? Let's do a unicorn this way, because I have 2 of these. And I can show you the difference between using 1 and using 2 water slides and how much more vibrant it's going to be. When you spray paint it with the clear gloss and everything, make sure that it's not cut to how you want it to fit onto your cup, because if it gets on the edges, it's going to seal it and it's not going to slide off. That was my biggest mistake that I was making, is I was cutting them and then I was spraying them. It doesn't work. Leave it on the sheet and then spray it. But these have already been done. I did these a while ago. For Valentine's Day, I had a run on these cups, and it was insane. I had so many. I'm so sick of unicorns. I'm really happy to get rid of these right now. Sorry, unicorns. So this is a practice cup. It's not sanded. It's not painted. It's just actually here for me to show you how to do this. So now that you have your water slides, they're printed and they're prepped, they're cut, put them in water. I have a heater going because I like to use lukewarm water. And while those are getting wet, you're gonna prep your spot that you're gonna put the unicorn or put your water slide, and you're gonna make sure it's wet. The water on the cup helps the water slide, hence the water slide. And I like to check them. It doesn't take very long for them to peel away from their backing if you've done it right and if you've got a good water slide going there. If it doesn't peel away very well, put it back in the water for a minute and it will come, unless you got the paint on the edges. And in that case, you're gonna have to trim up a little bit. So let's see. What you're gonna do is you're gonna use a motion like this to get it off. And see how it's moving off? I don't know if you can see. Okay, we'll put it on here. Let's get this wet a little bit. I always hold it down and I pull out the backing from underneath it. Now my water slide is on and it looks a little hanky. That's okay, that's normal. Take a paper towel, get it wet. You can actually move it around. But for the sake of this, we don't want it to move around. We want it to stay right here. I don't usually rub it this hard, but I know I have the glossifier on it and I'm not gonna streak or hurt my water slide. And you can pull it to flatten it out. I'm just getting water out of it because I want to show you what it looks like with a double layer on. Because everyone is always asking me how I get my water slides so vibrant, how I get them to pop. So there it is with one water slide. Looks pretty good, right? And it looks like it's sealed on there. It's not totally sealed, but it's on there. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to get my second water slide, and I usually wait a little bit in between, but this is a tutorial video and this is a practice cup, so we're just going to go ahead and take the other one off. Try to line it up the best that you can, which was not a very good shot, but that's okay because it has water underneath it. Now I will tell you, when there is glitter or paint underneath it, you do not see the seams like you do right now. And you can actually cut them closer, but this is just a tutorial. This isn't a cup that's going to anybody. In fact, when I turn this video off, this will probably be coming off and going back into my stash of practice cups. And if it feels like it's moving or anything like that, the good thing is it has water underneath it and you can move it. Now look how much more vibrant that is compared to just one water slide. And you can just, my towel is wet now, you can just make sure you get the water out. Now the most important part at this step of the process is to make sure you have it lined up, otherwise it's going to look kind of fuzzy, and you don't want it to look fuzzy, you want it to look nice and sharp. But to let it dry. You want to let it dry for about 12 to 24 hours. I usually wait a full 24 hours before I do any epoxy over it. So I hope this tutorial has helped you. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I will be more than happy to answer them. If this video helped you learn how to do water slides, give me a thumbs up. You know, makes me feel good to be able to teach what I've been taught to others. So have a good day and go try some water slides because, man, they are fun.